Hey crazies, how is everyone? I've missed you guys. Your comments have been awesome. I'm sorry I haven't been here for a couple of days, which is not like me, but it's just been hectic. I've been deep into one of my whips. Been having a great time with it. It's called The Peculiarities of Princess Peabody, and it's a retelling of The Princess and the Pea. I will have process videos on that coming soon. In the meantime, I have been doing a ton of reading. And as promised, I've got my first review from that book, second review. I don't know the order these will go up. But from that book haul that I did from Book Outlet. So this book and this review will be a little bit more chipper than the last one. Kind of ironic given the title. This book is called The Art of Death by Edwidge Danicat, writing the final story. It's actually part of a series, and the series is called The Art of the Series. Series editor is Charles Baxter. This book was not what I thought it was. I looked at this, I thought it was going to be a tool for writers, really. How to write that final death scene, more like a how-to, kind of like a writing guide type book. Obviously, a lot of my books have death in them as a major theme. Obviously, in my work, I deal with death a lot. So to me, it seemed like it'd be right up my alley. And it kind of was, but in a different way. If I had to give stars for this, and I will eventually get to Goodreads, I know that's important, obviously, I would give it 2 stars as a writing tool, but 4, maybe even 5 as an actual work. I think this book is more like a memoir than it is a writing tool. And there are some really poignant pieces in this book. I mean, it really felt like a memoir to me more than anything. I guess the point of this series is to talk about hidden parts of the craft that you don't hear a lot about. And this author's assignment was basically to talk about how various authors write about and handle the topic of death. Now, she does do that. She gives tons of examples. She's super well read. She's got all kinds of examples of how different authors use the themes of death. She gives great examples of Sylvia Plath and Sexton, their whole relationship. I found that fascinating because I love Plath. And there were some really great examples from works that most people have read or probably should read if they want to be authors. But I didn't find this to be useful in a how-to way at all. This was more of it reminded me of an essay that like a dissertation or something someone would write for an English class, like a master's lit thesis on how various authors handle death. So I guess she followed the assignment, but it wasn't what I expected as a reader, and that may be partially because of how it's blurbed. So I don't know if this particular author blurbed the book or not. Either way, I'm glad I read it. Overall, I'd give it 4 stars just because I was a little disappointed with the know-how too. But the writing is good. I was captivated by the story behind it. Her mother is diagnosed, or was diagnosed, this is true. Her mother was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. And she talks about writing this book and kind of looking at the theme of death in her work and other people's work as a way to cope with her mother's dying. And I had a lot in common with this author, and I think that may be why I was really drawn to it, even though it wasn't what I expected. At first, I thought I'm just going to DNF this and pretend it never happened because I don't want to be the booktube/author tube lady that's constantly ripping on things. I hate that. But I'm glad I kept going. And what kept me reading was the story about her mother, which I thought in and of itself could be a book. Apparently, she has written about her mother's passing. But a lot of it was just how she coped during that time after her mom died, and even after her mother had been diagnosed. She brings her mother and her culture to life. She was born in Haiti, and her mother spoke Creole. I think that's how you say it. But didn't speak English, and so she would go with her to these doctor's appointments, and her mother sounds like a kick. Like, she really brought her mother to life on the pages, which I thought was super cool. She told a story about when her father passed, which she was pretty young when that happened. Her mother was at the funeral chanting over and over in her native language, till death do us part, till death do us part. And she was like, why are you saying that, Mom? Like, it just felt like, ooh, are you like glad that he's dead? Like, you're finally rid of him? Why are you doing this? And her mother said, because I'm terrified of ghosts and I don't want him to come back and haunt me. So her mother, just spunky, had personality. She really brings her to life on the page. And there are actually quite a few laughs in this book, which is kind of ironic given the theme of it. So again, overall, if you're looking, honestly, this is more like a memoir. And I think it's a great book. I think I got it for 99 cents, maybe $1.99 in Book Outlet. Give it a shot. I mean, to me, I did get a lot out of it, even though it wasn't what I anticipated. So, hey, there's that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you're interested in hearing about how authors handle this theme in their work, comparing yourself to them, I did bookmark a couple of things, so let's make sure we're not forgetting anything. Oh, this again, it's about her mother. It is, I learned over the course of my mother's gradual decline, impossible to watch someone you love die and not feel the encroaching brush of death upon yourself. It's as if the death has entered the room, paused, moved past you before laying its hands on your loved one. So again, I mean, you can tell by the way it reads, it's not a how-to. It's just a good book. I mean, her language, her use of language is awesome. Here's another one. There's no such thing as a simple mourning for anyone, really, except that as writers, our grief becomes woven into the fabric of our work as well as into our source material. Yeah, it was neat because she was very candid about the way that doctors handled her, writing a lot of this down as her mother was dying, and sort of the process of being a writer in a medical setting. So that was fun too, as far as like getting that perspective. Fun on a deaf book, only me. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I will talk to you again soon. Until next time, peace, love, books, and crazy.